Hey, John Cowan here. Happy Friday to you. And I felt inclined to talk about a little bit of a heavy subject today because I had a recent conversation with someone. And folks, it's hard to understand what we're all going through with the changes that we've seen this year. So, specifically, because I'm in real estate, I wanted to address an issue that I'm not hearing any other realtor wanting to talk about right now. But the truth is, some folks are not experiencing the great real estate market we have going on here in Texas. They're not because they're having difficulties of their own. The pandemic, whatever the issues are, maybe they're having a struggle to pay their mortgage. So I wanted to just briefly discuss today, some points regarding that. If any of you might know someone that's in that kind of a circumstance, no matter where it is in Texas, have them contact me. I'll be happy to talk to them about options and make sure they understand that they do have options and to not allow anything to happen where they may lose their home to foreclosure because of difficulties this year or next year. So I think it's important, to basically address this issue. And sorry for the call trying to come through here at the office. So we have a circumstance where the government has stepped in and tried to help set up a plan to avoid what we saw during the Great Recession back in 2008 through 2010. There were so many foreclosures, such a devastating effect on a lot of people. And back then, I worked a lot with folks. I was a certified short sale foreclosure expert simply because I saw a need to help people avoid foreclosure. And unfortunately, I was able to help several who didn't end up with that responsibility, on their back afterwards. And so there's a lot of things we can do today that I saw happen back then, but we're not in that kind of a position. So here's what I wanted to share with you. Nationally, Texas has now joined the ranks of the top 10, if you will, metropolitan areas in the country that are growing delinquency rates on mortgages pretty quickly. Now, the figures out right now are just for FHA mortgages, so it's not counting conventional and some of the other VA type mortgages and that sort of thing. But let's just break down real quick. I just wanted to share with you what's going on so you understand the impact that we are seeing out here starting to develop. Nationally, we have almost 8 million FHA mortgages in the country. Right now, about 17% of those are delinquent. Definition of delinquent, at least 30 days past due, or they've missed a payment for 30 days, okay? Houston has topped out right through August at 22%. So Houston is having its own difficulties, not maybe just with the pandemic, but let's say maybe the oil and gas industry as well. So they are one of the highest percentages of delinquent FHA mortgages in the country through August of this year. We here in Dallas, Fort Worth, the Metroplex, we have now matched San Antonio with 19% of our FHA mortgages are now delinquent. And here in the Metroplex, we have 12% seriously delinquent. Seriously delinquent generally means at least 3 payments have been missed. Here's what I wanted to share with you. There is a lot that we can do. The government stepped in and said, we want lenders to not foreclose. We want them to do a forbearance. What does forbearance mean? A lot of us had to figure out how to spell it, okay? But it simply means that the lender wants to allow time for the individual to maybe get another job, get back on their feet, catch back up on their mortgages. So they're going to allow you to miss 6 mortgages, okay? Now, theoretically, after the end of that period, they're all due. Or you're going to have to form some sort of a workout to address that large amount of money. So the government stepped in and said, well, you know what, let's not rush it. Let's go ahead if they can document a serious financial burden still exists, a hardship exists, by definitions we haven't seen, then you can get another 6 months, okay? One of my recent videos, I discussed the fact that the sky is falling in real estate ? Because I'm hearing now a lot of the people across the country anticipating these forbearances are going to turn into foreclosures. And we saw a lot of that back during the recession. People skipped a lot of payments. Then maybe they tried to work something out with the bank. It was delaying, kicking the can down the road, the inevitable. We hope that that's not the circumstance now for anybody out there struggling to make their payment. That once the pandemic, loosens even further, and some people are able to go out there and replace their jobs, maybe they can form a relationship with their lender to do a workout, to just pick back up and start making their payments. If not, that's what the purpose of this video was. We have options. We can do a short sale if there's not enough equity in the home. If there is enough equity in the home to put it on the market and just normally sell it like any other time, that's the position that hopefully many people will have because of the rapid increase in equity over the last 8 years, 8+ years. And so just don't wait too late. Don't allow something to happen where the lender starts the foreclosure process. So here's a couple of key things. Number one, if you miss a mortgage payment, if you are late, let me say it that way, if you are late on one mortgage payment, today with the lending requirements to acquire a home mortgage to purchase a home, if you have that on your record, one late mortgage payment in the past year, you're going to have difficulties getting a new mortgage, okay? So that's number one. If you've already got a late payment, you can't do anything about that. But if you have 2 or 3, okay, that really sinks in. And if you have a foreclosure, now we're talking about years for you to get back in a position to purchase. So there's all kinds of reasons for us to avoid this. And there's a lot of ways to do it. Everyone is going to be different, how I might be able to address it. But if you're in the state of Texas, any of my friends and family, anyone that you know down in the Houston area, Austin, here in the Metroplex, reach out to me. Let me know. Let me talk to them and just give some free consultation on what some of their options are. If they're embarrassed, tell them not to be, okay? I've seen it all, okay? I said that last year, and then look what happened this year. Okay, but the pandemic has brought a totally different circumstance to the table. We have good people out there who are struggling. I want to recognize that and not just talk about the great real estate market right now that's going on, okay? So for some people, that's not what's happening, and that's what this was all about today. So I don't want to drag this out, but again, to put it in perspective, across the country, the highest percentage of delinquent mortgages right now, Houston is there, Chicago, Washington, D.C. area, and Atlanta. Orlando is right there. All 5 of those areas are over 20%, between 20 and 22% of FHA mortgages are currently delinquent. Okay, so from a national standpoint, with 8 million loans, 17%, that's the perspective. So here in Texas, we're having some difficulties. I recognize that, and I want to be available for anyone who's having those difficulties. So I see some people on here. It's great to see you. And hey, Lindsay, so reach out and talk to me. And even if you're in Colorado, okay, bless you. It's a great place to be. But you may have some folks there that are having difficulties too. Tell them to pick up the phone and call me. I can't do anything for them. I'm not licensed in Colorado, but I can give them information and tell them where to go and help them find another realtor that can assist them. I can do that anywhere in the country. I've done that for a lot of clients. Help locate a good realtor to help them do whatever they need to do in real estate. So let me reach out and help. Some of you are family, some of you are friends, my clients. Let's not let this pandemic create a hardship for any of you that you can't get out of before it's too late, okay? So please reach out to me, 214-697-1146. Call me and let me answer any questions for you. Thanks for joining me today. Have a great weekend, and if you get off on Monday, Hallelujah, Columbus Day. But we're going to be hot here in Texas. Again, Texas OU. Yes, let's watch some college football, okay? Have a great weekend. Take care.